Alright, so without further ado, this is the start, Lijiang Tower, the first map of Winter Solstice versus Adeptly, Ineptly. It is only myself today, not joined by a co-caster. It is just your boy fitting in. So teams just picking their sides, just picking their rosters right now, figuring out who's going to play what. It looks like Winter is going to open up with a double DPS strategy. Sombra and Pharah, together with the Diva and the Hamster for the tank lineup. The other team opening much more safe, going with the tried and true goats. We get the Chengdu style counter goats versus the goats. An early hack on to hash this. Gonna result in his death. Adeptly took the point first, but without the Reinhardt, they're not creating the space that they need to hold on to it. And another hack coming in onto Decrep. She goes down early. And cleanup phase comes in. The counter goat so far, at least in the first initiation, paying off. Time Monster, our faithful hamster, is going to go up a little bit further, take a little bit of poke, and try and get those mines. Frozen already coming up towards an ult aspect, not far away as well. Hash this swapping to Winston here. They're going to try the Winston goats. Bubble comes out early, and it looks like Steve gets separated. The rest of the team falls to Frozen Lizard. Hash this in an espresso. And Jesus looks like jumping off the ledge just to reset. They don't want to be too staggered here. Time Monster, 10% away from the bombs we were talking about just a second ago. Beat coming online. Jesus has already swapped up to an Ana and is 10% away. Time Monster a little bit early with that pile driver. But an EMP coming out. Let's see. The beat comes out post EMP. And now the mines trap Stee. Didn't look like that bomb was aggressive. It looks like it was forced off of our side. We didn't want to lose our mech in that scenario, so we popped a bomb just to keep Red Dot in the mech. A little bit unfortunate. He's only 22% to that bomb right now. That could have made critical space for us. Definitely might have lost that fight, but forcing the bomb is value for them. Let's see if they recognize that and they can find a way to capitalize on it. Going down fast in that first fight. Frozen with a 4K. Absolutely killer positioning from Frozen Lizard. And there's the Graviton Surge, but it's way too late. An uncontestable Pharah has given us the first point. Frozen Lizard absolutely demolishing. And not a lot of swaps coming out of the side of Adeptly and Ineptly. It looks like they struggled a little bit, and they're not going to be running that composition anymore. The goats, they're going to a Orisa Hog Diva, so something a lot more similar to a bunker. Still running a Lucio. Looks like a Lucio Baptiste heal composition with a Jesus as their only DPS member. And it looks like we're going to swap it up too. Time Monster and Red Dot. Going Ryan and Zarya for this inside point. Very smart. People love to push up through white here with the Ryan and the Zarya. But Ty falls early. Invulnerability field does come out, but a massive purple means they're going to be stuck on low health. Without a Reinhardt, we're in a little bit of a rough spot. Frozen getting hooked. That means we might not have enough contest. Unless Time Monster gets back. Theory getting hooked just then, but Red Dot able to peel. Time Monster a little bit far, poking through the Orisa shield there. Puts him a bit out of position, no way to get healed. Now, Aspect is creating a lot of space with this Mei and has kept the contest alive. This is a long first fight with neither team capping. That beat and these ults are here purely to finish off this objective. Solstice wants that cap, and they get it. Hazel's still alive, though. Hazel's still alive. Decrep came back to point. She's going to stall this out for just as long as she can. But there's no staggering for that baby diva. Oh! Almost a C9. Charlie Niner. Not quite. But Winter nearly left the point just before it capped. Ashley's taking a lot of space. The Orisa playing really well. But Theory Tropic has been landing her nades consistently, hitting multiple targets. It was 6 the first one. That one was 4 more. Big anti-nades. Means Decrep is unfortunately not getting the work that she wants to be getting out of the diva. And Hash this not really putting up the shields at the right time to block those nades. Blizzard does come out, but we're not able to push through the choke point, which means the ult buys time but does very little else. It looks like Graviton Surge and a Death Blossom is going to be the combo we try and set up right now, and it works. Committed the Shatter as well, and the Nano. So that was four ults to win that one fight. Adeptly and Ineptly, they do have their Baptiste ult, they have their Matrix, and they have Beat coming online. Haze's switches up. They're now on a Hanzo, possibly going for a little bit more shield break here, or possibly just a better pick. Beat and Bomb and Matrix all out. That is all of their ults. They are now coming up online with their Hog ult. That might be their last effort here. Critical boop there to push Sherlock back into that Blizzard. And that's Lijiang Tower. 2 quick 99-0s. That first fight there on Control Center, though, was quite the doozy. You have to hand it to both teams for putting up a fight, stalling the objective before either of them got to cap for that long. $4K from Frozen Lizard takes play of the game, not surprising. 73% kill participation from Theory Tropic. Nothing wrong with that. That is some good, hard-earned healing right there. Alright, so we're going to go back to the lobby. We are just waiting now for the teams to settle up for the next map to be loaded in. We are going now to Blizzard World. Lijiang Tower is done. The current map is Blizzard World. Winter Solstice here. We got to see some big plays coming out of Frozen Lizard. We also got to see some really good play coming out of Theory Tropic. Those anti-nades on the Ana were devastating, and they were repeated, one after the other. Buckets and buckets. Just anti-nade after anti-nade, shutting down Adeptly and Ineptly before they could even play. Now, on the side of Adeptly and Ineptly, we did get to see some really nice play, I believe, out of Espresso and Stee. They were pushed out of position quite a bit on those support roles. But I think they played admirably. I'm excited to see what they get to run in this next map. Blizzard World, there's a lot of goats that gets played here, especially on the third point. But this is a big somber map as well. Plenty of teams in our league are running Orisa compositions on the first point. And plenty of other teams are trying to counter that with their own Sombras. Alright, so the map is back up If this goes the way of Winter Solstice, this is going to be a short cast. My apologies. Scuffed stream, here we go. We're back on the game. 16 seconds for the heroes to assemble. Now, speaking as an insider with Winter Solstice, I know we like to run the bunker composition on defense, point A. We really like to open up with the Orisa and the Baptiste and the Bastion, and this is exactly what we're going to see. Aspect on Hanzo is a change of pace. Typically, he's playing something like a Soldier or an Ashe, something hit scan. But clearly, we're looking to go for a little bit of a heavier pick composition right now. And we're looking to do it from range. Now, just as foretold, it looks like Sherlock is going to be running Sombra. And the rest of Adeptly and Ineptly looking to form some sort of Sombra Winston. I hesitate to call it goats, but it does have a Zen, a Brig, and a Lucio. When you change so many parts up in the goats comp, it really changes how the composition plays. Calling it goats is a little bit of a misnomer at that point. Hash this. Holding back with the choke for a second, they might be waiting for Sherlock to actually get into position to get a key hack. They saw the bunker composition. Red dot now. Actually able to scope out and see Sherlock early. So a little bit of space denied, a little bit of spies are checked. Nothing's found though. So Sherlock is going to be able to move in for this hack, and that looks like it's going to dictate. That looks like it's going to be dictating the engagement here from Adeptly and Ineptly. They're playing this very, very slow. Sherlock coming into the back, hash this maybe a little bit early with that monkey leap. Frozen gets 2. Well, I should say 1 and a D-Mech. 2 more follow. The Diva eventually falling to Aspect, and Aspect getting that late stagger onto Stee. That Ana sitting at 30% to ult. It looks like Hazes is going to go to... Hazes now on a Genji. Actually, Hazes was already on a Genji. Hash this losing his armor at the choke point a little bit early. And Sherlock also taking a bit of poke. That's going to be critical ult charge, actually. That Winter is pretty happy to see. Hazes poking. Trying to find a shuriken onto Theory. That's a big EMP coming out. And it looks like it's going to result in some big kills. Frozen down, Aspect down. Valkyrie coming out from the side of Winter. It looks like we want to keep our tanks alive long enough at least to score a res. But there's only tanks on the objective right now. Theory just buying for time. It looks like we're pulling out. We realize the fight has lost. And we don't want to commit. Time Monster back on a ball now, so we're playing a different composition for second point. Very smart. Bunker, you don't really want to play Bunker on this street phase for the most part, and you really don't want to recontest anything with Bunker, so swapping off that right away, not surprising. Aspect being sneaky. Looking for some early damage here. Maybe a kill. Stee gets low. There's no recall from Aspect, and he manages to get hash this on the way out. 81% to a pulse bomb. Time Monster down. And hash this respawned in plenty of time. So we are going to be down a member on Winter now. That key hack coming in on Aspect going to put him out of the fight as well. Time Monster's respawned back, but we're still down a person now. And Theory and Frozen going down puts us at a big disadvantage. Hash this pop Primal for that, but that was all Adeptly and Ineptly had to commit to stagger us this hard. It's going to take a big regroup now from the side of Winter Solstice to actually get a good contest and a good fight here on point B at Blizzard World. This point is notorious in competitive mode in your ranked ladder games for teams coming in way too late in the last point for that stall and dying because of it. Beat comes out and it was perfectly timed. That is going to save 2 people inside of Adeptly and Ineptly from death. Silverstar tried to do the same thing with his own defensive ultimate, but Steel landed a critical anti-nade. That's 2 members of Winter Solstice that could not benefit from that transcendence, and that's going to be the point for Adeptly. They did commit nearly everything they have, minus that Diva Bomb, but they're not going to switch up. They're going to stay on their Sombra, Winston, triple support. Well, no, they're 2-2. They're 2-2-2 composition now. Their dive style attack in this tight area that might be folly, but maybe they're looking to use this speed and initiation advantage to actually beat out the goats. That's the bomb. Does it find anyone in the backline? It finds 2. Aspect and Theory both dropping. The Zarya and the Zen. All of the DPS and goats gone in one ultimate. Big value, and the cart has not stopped. That hack stops the charge short, so Time Monster's left in a bad spot. Aspect's respawn protects Ty long enough for him to get topped up, hopefully. Not all the way. Beat does connect with Ty. That's going to buy him time before he goes down here, but he's playing reckless. Can he get healed up? And no, he cannot. Hayes is so happy to see that Transcendence come out because he just reached his blade. But not quite. Not quite. Not sure if that was intentional from Hayes there, or if the boop knocked him just a little bit too far away when he dashed up the wall. Either way, a reset was in order. Coming in with 4 ults in this next fight. Nothing from the supports, but a beat and a blade is usually enough to close out an objective. 2 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock here, too. If Adeptly do manage to win this next fight like they intend, important from Red Dot there to not get hit by that Transcendence. He is able to trade Blade to take out both supports on the side of Adeptly and Ineptly, and that is going to keep us alive in this fight. Very, very, very good play from Red Dot. He read that combination coming. He saw it. He looked into the future. And Nostradamus knew. We are going to see swaps now on the side of Adeptly and Ineptly. They've at least gone over to a break. There's Sherlock going to the Zarya. They are going to stay on Hash, though. He does want to use that Primal Rage. A minute 20. Committing to the Primal Rage here does mean they're not going to get a good swap to a Reinhardt Goats afterwards. So they will be playing on the Monkey. That's going to be how this game closes out. Big value shatter from Ty. And another reset coming out from the side of Adeptly and Ineptly. They didn't get to use that Primal Rage. That is going to be big. Will Hash actually switch now and commit to the Rhine, or is he going to try and squeeze the value out of this? He almost has to. Coming in with 45 seconds on the clock, they're going to not be able to contest here until 35 seconds left. Oh, they're contesting a little early. Decrep getting a good hack, though. Rather, a good hack coming out onto Decrep. That's going to keep her away from the fight. She is not going to be able to protect Hash. Primal down, and we're not yet in overtime. That's the EMP from Aspect. That's 2. That's 3. Where's number 4? There's 4, and Stee creeping around. Spotted out, though. So we know there's a Brigitte coming in through her backline. She does have Rally, and we are just going to go hard in the paint. Commit, slam. Honestly worth it. What else did they have to touch but a Brigitte and apparently a Transcendence? Not out of this yet. Ben gone down. Sherlock gone down. They don't have that Graviton Surge, and I don't know if it would have helped if they did. Stalled out in what looked like a pretty easy point win for Adeptly. I'm not going to lie, Red Dot there with a good bomb. That was all we needed to shut down a Blade EMP combo that was well executed from the side of Adeptly and Ineptly. Had Red Dot not been hiding to prevent that bomb going off, I'm positive that that Blade EMP combo that came out in 230 there in the end, that would have been the it. Adeptly did the right thing going for that, but it didn't pay off. It doesn't always. We can't always have our wins. So if Winter busts out a bunker on point A, what is Adeptly and Ineptly going to do? And it looks like they're going to do a bunker themselves. Trading out the Hanzo for a Junkrat. Jesus on Bastion. Decrep on Diva. They've got all the work, all the trappings that Winter Solstice had. And Winter going to come out with a dive composition. Triple DPS. Aspect. Gonna run Tracer here. Make the executive decision. That's a lot of backline pressure. And it's an Ana. Okay. That's actually an interesting choice from Theory Tropic. We're probably going to be setting up for Frozen Lizard. When he pulls Blade, we're going to have some nanobolic steroids to put into his backside. Okay, never mind. Never mind, debated. Cast a curse. Theory's actually going to go back to the Mercy. So instead of the Nano Blade, we're going to go for the Waifu Blade. Big damage boost pockets. We're already contesting the objective. Aspect here being slippery. Nearly a full tick before they're forced down to contest him. Decrep going out early, losing that mech. Jesus now has to reposition. Theory Tropic caught out in a bad spot. Gonna go down. Red Dot now just poking the back line, farming up some EMP, getting that good juice going. Stee keeping Decrep alive long enough to re-mech. Important there. You don't want to have your Diva out of mech at the start of a fight. Aspect now continued to contest Red Dot. They're waiting for Decrep to drop to contest Aspect. Waiting for that hack. Frozen now up. Gets a reflect off, but it doesn't seem to reflect enough damage to kill Jesus or make him or uproot the Bastion. Now once again, we did not finish off the baby Diva, and that time she actually manages to whip out the Glock and put a cap right in Frozen Lizard. Now on EMP and Aspect on Bomb. Both very critical ults here. Unless Decrep manages to eat this bomb, that is just gonna kill gonna kill Jesus if Aspect can get into that back line. And EMP might be exactly enough. And there it is. EMP coming out. Jesus has bomb coming out actually to kill the support on the side of Adeptly Inept. Jesus is getting pocketed hard, trying to pull off this Bastion ult. He needs this right now, actually. And he does find two. It has taken Frozen quite a little while to build up this Blade. 96, so he will have it in the next fight, and Ty is going to have his own bombs in the next fight. But the bunker has been impeccable from the side of Adeptly Inept. Two big zoning ults in the form of Blade and bombs and pellets is going to be a big deterrent here. Time Monster getting a little bit greedy going for this back cap. Right now is a good time to be punishing Adeptly Inept. The Orisa dropped early. There's no more shield for Jesus. Time Monster in a trap. Bomb coming out that will get silver or force him to use Transcendence. Aspect finds a pick. The Blade comes out. The Mercy has not gone down yet, though. She might be able to get off a res. Time Monster coming back in. It is just Frozen and Decrep left on the objective. And there's the res. Aspect now back. Manages to de-mech Decrep. But the enemy team is reinforcing slowly but surely. They're getting back onto the point. They're filtering in. There's an immortality field and a trap now. If we don't space that trap properly, we will go down to it. Possibly enough Not quite. Time Monster not spacing the trap, not respecting the Junkrat. In 18 seconds, this is the final fight here for Winter Solstice. A full hold looks completely doable. Aspect has Bomb, but that's the only ultimate tool we have online. Not really anything here to contest with. Time Monster running back in, just barely dodged that trap. An Aspect desperately trying to stick somebody in the back line. Red Dot, that's a big stick, but the immortality field is bigger, absolutely huge. Bomb's going to space us off the objective. Silver just managing to find a kill on Decrep and a pillar to hide behind. Jesus has a Discord orb. That's going to make it very hard for him to stay alive here. Blade coming out. Will we be able to get anything done with it? Possibly. Very nearly. Very nearly, but the waifu on the Bastion completely keeps him alive. Aspect, Red Dot, finding picks. The tire actually dying to a blade slash there at the end of the Dragon Blade. This fight's not over. The supports are still alive and they've got to die, and Silverstar over the top. That's the bongo down now. That was the last ultimate on the side of Adeptly and Ineptly. Immortality Field stayed alive for a little while, and that bought Orisa a bit of time, but she is going to go down, and it's not going to be the full hold that nearly happened. Frozen dying to some absolute mayhem, though. Some total mayhem. That was too close for comfort for Winter Solstice. They only just eked in at the last second in a long overtime stall with plenty of opportunity for failure. Hash this, staying on the Orisa for second point. We talked about that in the last round. Orisa in second point, not a common tactic, and Orisa after the initial hold on defense, also not a common tactic. For many reasons, but if they can pull this off, they're sticking with the bunker. Jesus not swapping off, Stee not swapping off. The only change is Sherlock actually going over to a Sombra. That's a huge pull. Red Dot, a bit of a committal there. 40 HP on Hash this, 75 HP on Hash this, and he's underneath contesting on the ground. Gonna go down. The Orisa falls off the ledge, nothing else there to protect Jesus above. Jesus does go down as well. It looks like this is the point. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Is that enough time to go through all of third point? Second, it's not too uncommon for second to go by in a flash. But third does take a long while for most teams to set up and practice. Sherlock 63% on that ultimate. He's going to need to try and farm that up as quick as possible. A good EMP could be the only tool you need to dethrone Winter Solstice on this card. That being said, Blade and Valkyrie up on our side. We do have that option available to us. Aspect in chat with a nice hook. Aspect also in chat, teaching me that I don't have chat hidden. Respect for Sherlock, though. A good swap to Hog here. It's not goats. It's not what most people are expecting to see on this map. Red Dot falling off, not good. It's not goats, but a Hog does command a lot of space. Hook creates a good radius around Sherlock here, where Winter Solstice cannot contest in. Not unless they want to get grabbed. And in these tight areas, that space can go from one end to the other. We're going to pull out right now because we are getting an EMP Blade combo. Adeptly Inept on their attack run weren't able to pull this off, but it looks like Winter does get it. Sherlock staying alive for a long time in that backline, nearly killing Tropic. Theory almost going down there. Decrep choosing not to use Bomb. Probably smart. You want to have that ultimate available to you in this last fight here. Now Hash is not switching up to something faster. Staying on Orisa. Bongo is going to be the dream here. A good damage boost from this Bongo. Or a better hack coming in for Winter Solstice. That's the Matrix. That's a lot of damage coming out. Bigger damage, bigger boom. Winter Solstice in a bad spot here. And that Bongo paying dividends. Hash this making the right call, it seems, not to swap up to a Winston or a Hammond, something you would conventionally see a team do when they're on that last point when it's so close to the end of the objective. Now, for all intents and purposes, Winter do still have to close this objective out all the way. Not exactly, because Adeptly wasn't able to quite push it to the end, but they very nearly did. That's another blade coming out from Frozen Lizard. He didn't quite find his grounds on point A with this Genji, but he is finding it on set on 2 and 3. Streets phase and now Castle. That has been some good, clean Genji play from Frozen. To Crep going down, Hash coming in for one final contest, this time definitely on the Hammond. The Arista is certainly not the pick you want at that point, and that is it. Solstice, 2-0ing, Adeptly and Ineptly. We've clearly got back our mojo from the last game. Chat is no longer hidden. We are back to catch the GGs and to throw in one ourselves. Alright. Alright. Well, those games went by pretty quick. Baptiste summarizing it. Not quite, though. Despite the 2-0 score, as usual, the games were a lot closer than that leads on. Adeptly and Ineptly put up a very great game tonight. Winter Solstice is probably pretty happy about this one, too. We lost our last match, and it was the first loss in UGC we had up to that point. It was a squeaker, but we did suffer some big losses in those team fights against the Bambi Brigade. So coming out now against a new opponent, a little bit of a fresh outlook. We've had time to practice, to rehearse, and get ready for this one, and we're ready to go. Alright, I'm going to quickly see if there's anyone on the side of Adeptly and Ineptly that would be interested in coming by for a post-game interview. And if there are, we're going to keep it alive just long enough to talk to them, talk about how they felt they did in this match, and get some input from Adeptly and Ineptly, who played very great tonight, honestly. Alright. Alright, so that is going to be it for tonight for the Winter Solstice cast, for our in-house casting. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting us in this. I am Finnanen. You can find us on me on Twitter. You can also find Solstice on Twitter at Solstice Gaming. Gaming spelled with 2 G's on the end there. We also have a brand spanking new, I shouldn't say new, Discord channel for all of you to join. Please come by and join. I believe our links are posted below our stream here. We've got a fun community with plenty of people. They like to play a lot of games. Please stop by. Plenty of opportunities to join and form teams happening all the time. That'll be it. We're going to sign off for tonight. It has been a slice. Have fun.